tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy Sober Wednesday to you and me and anybody else. Even if you're not listening, happy sobers. I almost said Sunday just because it's easy. Oh, yeah. Wednesday in the Mile High City. Got a 2:00 meeting today. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully they sent out the email to everybody so we can get some more people there, see if we can help more people. We'll find out. If not, maybe time to shut it down. Who knows? Yeah. Like anybody else, I just want to be of maximum service. All right. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. This is a reading that I just kind of decided to do. Been a while since I covered this one. We're going to be on page 62 in the big book. Ebb and flow, my friends. That is life. People come and go. Most of them go. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. Hope you're having a good day. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. We don't have anybody here yet. I'm sure some people will start to pile in as we go along. So I think we might usually go back. I think we're going to go back a little bit here. I think we're going to go back to page 60. All right. We're going to start right after the ABCs. So the part that we read in the meetings, we get to the ABCs, and then, yeah, so right after that. You can probably see it right on the page. It says ABC. Thank you, here. All right. Being convinced. We're at step 3, which is that we decide to turn our will and our life over to the care of God as we understood Him. Just what do we mean by that? And just how do we do it? Hi, Amber. Happy lunchtime. Do you like that lunchtime live? Why do people suck? I don't know, but I'm kind of feeling that way right now, too. Maybe it's just a Virgo thing. That was my cat. Yeah, that was my cat. So here, meow. Meow. Come on, a loud one so they can hear you. Meow. He's already purring. And now I have to pet him because I'm saying his name. All right. So what do we mean and just do what do we do? The first requirement is that we be convinced that any life run on self-will can hardly be a success. On that basis, we are almost always in collision with something or somebody, even though our motives are good. Yeah, even when I was drinking, I thought my motives were good. That's part of the denial. It's part of the denial of the disease. If I would have done a deeper look, I would have known. If I would have taken a little bit more time to think about it, even 3-4 more seconds, I probably would have come out with a different outcome. But I didn't do that. I just took whatever came to my mind first as the alpha omega, as that's the decision being made. I didn't have any thought process behind it. But yet I still thought my motives were valid, that they were good, and they were not. And then the frustration would come, if they would just listen to me, right? So most people try to live by self-propulsion. Each person's like an actor who wants to run the whole show, is forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in his own way. If his arrangement would only stay put, if only people would do as he wished, the show would be great. No, it wouldn't. Even if all these people did everything that I said, no, it wouldn't have come out great. Because I think I know what I'm doing. That doesn't mean that I do know what I'm doing. Right? So the show would be great. Everybody, including himself, would be pleased. That's what we'd like to think anyway. Life would be wonderful. Trying to make these arrangements, our actor may sometimes be quite virtuous. He may be kind, considerate, patient, generous, even modest and self-sacrificing. On the other hand, he may be mean, egotistical, selfish, and dishonest. But as with most humans, he is more likely to have varied traits. Now, the problem is the overdone of the emotions. That's the problem in this case. As an alcoholic, I tend to overdo my emotions. I still do. I do. There's something I've been sitting on for a couple days waiting for the right answer. It was something I didn't want to do on an emotional level. Wouldn't be the right way. Sometimes I do though. Usually when I do something on an emotional level, I tend to need to make amends. You know, when I base my facts off emotions, that's usually what happens. So what usually happens is the next line. Well, the show doesn't come off very well. No, because everybody's running around doing what they want, not listening. This isn't just an alcoholic problem for me. This is a Virgo problem for me. It is. It's a Virgo problem. I keep sitting and looking pretty. I'll do that. Do I look pretty today to you? I could put me on a little lipstick. All right. Yeah, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. But anyway, so the show doesn't come off very well. Right? He begins to think life doesn't treat him right. He decides to exert himself even more. He becomes on the next occasion still demanding or gracious as the case may be. Still, the play does not suit him. All right. So, yeah, I kind of like things in their place for the most part. I've gotten, you know, my wife doesn't mind shit all over the place. I do. And I'm not saying messy, dirty, those guys. But even like my nail clippers, if they are not where they're supposed to be, I get mad. I get mad. I don't want to be searching. It's not like I have my nail clippers in my hand every day or something, but I want to know where the fuck they're at. If I put somewhere where I put it, then my keys are where they belong. My wallet is where it belongs. Everything is where it belongs. Uh, Lipstick is blush these days, I guess. Are they using lipstick for blush now? Yeah, all right, if that's what you want. Admitting he is somewhat at fault, he is sure that other people are more to blame. He becomes angry, indignant, self-pitying. What is the basic trouble? Is he not really a self-seeker even when trying to be kind? Yes, the answer is yes. But try getting an alcoholic to see that. Even an alcoholic who's done the work. Guy going through something right now that's kind of like this. All right. I think some people are starting to think that, you know, this is what it comes down to. I don't like it when people assume what I'm doing. I don't know that you appreciate that either. And just take it on as fact without talking to you. Yeah. It's not cool. Right. People kind of stirring shit up in the group chat. This is an attraction, not promotion. And That stuff doesn't belong in chat. Creating division in the group, that kind of just pisses me off more than anything else. Does it? Well, it doesn't piss me off. It upsets me. It makes me wonder why you would want to do something like that. Right. And I'll tell you the first thing that I did. I went through it in my mind. I looked at everything and I tried to see if I owed an amends. It was the first thing that I did. That's what I'm going to look at first. Do I owe an amends? What did Dion do to add to this? Did I make it worse? And, so that's what I need to look at. Am I making this worse? Am I stirring the pot? Did I do or say something to help cause this? If so, then I need to make an amend for it. All right. Is he not a victim of the delusion that he can wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world if he only manages well? Is it not evident to all the rest of the players that these are the things he wants? And do not his actions make each of them wish to retaliate, snatching all they can get out of the show? Is he not, even in his best moments, a producer of confusion rather than harmony? And I have that underlined. This is a question that I ask myself a lot. Am I causing more confusion than harmony? Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to be straightforward. I understand the confusion. Well, I'm getting better, but I understand the confusion more than harmony. I sometimes creating confusion excites me. Sometimes doing that stuff, it goes back to the sober horse thief where I get a kick out of the stealing the horses. What else do we alcoholics like? Drama. We not only do we like other people's drama, we like to create drama. Yes, that's a we thing, man. We alcoholics think alike. In fact, I hear my mom saying it in the meeting yesterday. We all think alike. We are different, and it's okay. Be different. I really appreciate her saying that. Yeah. All right. So I have to check that. And if I've caused more confusion than harmony, then I probably owe an amends. Right. I don't always mean to cause confusion. At the same time, sometimes I feel like I explain things perfectly fine, but some people just don't want to hear it and they create their own confusion. Well, that's not on me. They say assuming makes an ass out of you and me. I didn't assume. It does not make me an ass. You can be an ass all you want, but don't include me on your assery. No. Okay. I will decide my own assery. Thanks. I don't need you to do that for me. I'm perfectly fine at doing it myself. All right. Our actor is self-centered, egocentric, as people like to call it nowadays. You know what we call it now? Toxic. That's what we call it. You'd be labeled as toxic. And personally, I think toxic is just name calling. That's what I think. Of course, calling somebody self-centered, egocentric is kind of name calling too. You get see, AA is about self-diagnosis, not other people's diagnosis. You down with OPD? Yeah, you know me. Right. Other people's diagnosis is what that would be. I I don't know how many people remember the song OPP from the 90s. So stands for other people's problems. And I used to be down with OPP because if I focused on your problems, well, gee, and put you down, then I would feel better about myself. And gosh, look how low you are. Look how high I am compared to you and my high horse. And gee, look at me. I just got a new pair of shoes. You should see how high I can jump, right? Childish. I can be childish. Hey, Michelle, it's good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. He low. He low to you. He's like the retired Businessman who loads in the Florida sunshine in the winter, complaining the sad state of the nation. The minister who sighs over the sins of the 20th century. I'm on the bottom of page 61, Michelle, if you want to follow along. Who sighs over the sins of the 20th century. Politician in the big book. I probably should tell you the book because I use a lot of different books. Politicians and reformer who sure all would be utopia if the rest of the world would only behave. You think you're going to get the world to behave? That's like fighting stigma, which is what the government is doing right now. It's called lift the label. They want to end stigma. Now, this is just another thing that they've created to start a fight for division. Yeah, it's a government recovery program. And they make it look like, oh, it's for anybody. And then you go there, and all they have listed there is opiate use. They don't even talk about alcohol anymore because they don't have any money for it. So therefore, to them, it's not anything. Okay. That's why we have these other programs. We don't have to worry about that. We've got what we need here. All right. So anyway, the outlaw safecracker who thinks society is wrong to him, and the alcoholic who has lost all and is locked up. Whatever our protestations are not most of us concerned with ourselves, our resentments, our self-pity. I would have to say yes, I am more concerned with my own. Yep. It's how I'm built. I cannot help it. It's my actions that are going to decide this. I'm still a selfish fuck. My DNA has not changed. We think a certain way. We alcoholics think differently. I don't know how many times I could say that. Probably a lot. And even then, a lot of people aren't going to believe me. Right? It's okay. One day you'll figure it out. Right? Why you think you feel so distant from a lot of other people, especially when you get into the program and start seeing the truth about things. When you work with the truth, man, you see life differently. You really do. All right. But even now, I am more concerned with my resentments, my self-pity. That's why I do so much service work. It interrupts that. And then I don't stay there anymore. See? Just a trigger. And since I have, since I do everything that I can, take responsibility for my triggers, now I have power control over that. I don't allow my emotions to continue. Not all the time anyway. I'd say I'm at a solid 87%. All right. Selfishness, self-centeredness, that we think is the root of our troubles. They're being nice here. That we think is the root of our troubles should actually be, that is the root of our trouble. That is the root of your trouble. It's the root of my trouble. It's the root of every alcoholic's trouble. Because selfish and self-centeredness stem from, driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity. We step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate. There it is. The root of our trouble. It's not by accident that fear leads that. If I'm walking around with fear, not only am I walking around with fear, but then I'm walking around in a disillusioned world. I will not see it. And we're talking about still being on, kind of being on the alcohol, kind of. But an alcoholic doesn't need the alcohol in order to live in a disillusioned world. He just needs not grow his spirituality. He just need not do anything about it. And you'll continue like that. Even after the steps. You can slip. Here's the thing. You can slip back into this. This is how we are naturally. That's what's weird about us. We are intentionally nice. We are intentionally kind. That's like thinking that an AA meeting is a safe space. No, everybody in there is judging you. We're alcoholics. I know I'm being judged. What they do with that is their own business, though. That's where that boundary comes in. Because I too also have intrusive thoughts about other people. And what I do with them is clear them out. I got to look at it a different way. I got to give myself a little bit of time to take a look at the situation. All right. Self seeking and self pity. Self seeking is a human thing. I'm going to tell you this, you only care about what affects you. Everybody works that way. Now, is that totally true? Not totally. But for the most part, we are only concerned about ourselves and what's affecting us. Yep. We got to get out of that. Right? Right? Kind of like LGBTQ. Does what's going on with them affect my life? No. Am I an ally? Yes, because they're human beings. And there's a lot of alcoholism in that area too. That's why. Because in a way, it does still affect me because even LGBTQ are alcoholic, homeless, 2 cars in the garage. All these people are my concern. Yes. See, we are an all or nothing people. So sometimes they hurt us with seemingly without provocation. But we invariably find that at some point, sometime in the past, we have made decisions based on self, which later places us in a position to be hurt. You're not you there was you had a part in it, most likely. You know, maybe. Remember, we're on the 3rd step. We haven't quite gotten to 10th step and 4th and clearing away. So keep in mind that we are talking about the 3rd step here. All right. So yeah, you're not going to get away with anything in this life. That's what that comes down to. Okay. I cause my own problems. All right. Do my problems sometimes come from outside forces? Yes, but that's not the problem. That's the opportunity. I'm the one that turns it into a problem. That would be me. All right. I'm not saying all of it's easy. So our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. There again, they're being nice. I'm going to rephrase this. So our troubles are of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic is an example of self-will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. More denial. No, I'm not. I don't do that. Whatever. Please, we alcoholics contradict ourselves constantly. Constantly. Right? I know I did. And I didn't care. It was how I was, it was however I needed to manipulate at the time to get what I wanted, alcohol, and to be left alone. I wanted to be left alone. I might want your companionship for a minute, but then I might want you to leave. So I was when I was drinking. I want you taking my alcohol. Unless we're having a good time or whatever. Yeah. You can watch me play video games if you want it. All right. Many of us had moral and let's sorry. I apologize. Above everything, we alcoholics must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us. That can happen a lot of different ways. Alcohol is not the only situational thing in this that's going to stop you, or that's not going to kill you. Heart attacks, strokes, all sorts of disease that stem from alcoholism. Alcoholism creates more physical disease than anything else out there. Yeah. Still does, even to this day. Fentanyl doesn't do that. It just kills you. Right? And there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self without his aid. I don't know of anybody that can't entirely get rid of self without his aid. I don't think there's a person on earth that can do that. Mm-mm. I don't believe it. I've just seen too many situations. There again, that's not hard and fast. If I see something else, I might change my mind on that. Who knows? And there often seems no way of getting rid of self without his aid. Many of us had moral, philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them, even if we would have liked to. Neither could we reduce our self-centeredness much by wishing or trying on our own power. We had to have God's help. All right. All right, I'm going to do this last paragraph. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So that way, Amber still has at least a little bit of free time for her lunch. This is the how and why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. I like the way Amber's been saying it lately. All I really need to know is I'm not God. That's all I really need to know. I'm not him, her, it, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know if God has a gender. We presume that he's male, so I'm just used to saying he. Fuck, I don't know. Right? That's all I really need to know, that I am not God. That is probably the best place to start. And that is a start. That is a beginning. See, I've been carrying around faith. I've been objectively faithful to myself in my drinking. No. I used reason as faith, but I had faith in it. Oh, lunch was over 11 minutes. You can tell how long it's been since I've actually had like a real job. Lunch is 30 minutes now. That's not enough time for lunch. 30 minutes is not enough time for lunch. All right. All right. So anyway, maybe it is. I guess if you're just eating lunch, but I do more than that during lunch. So, right. So first of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter, in this drama of life, God was going to be our director. He is the principal. We are his agents. He is the father, and we are his children. That the last one is what got me. That's where I made my decision. Right? See, you put that on there, but it didn't post. That's weird. All right, well then I'll just put it up here so people can see it. See, it posted, but it didn't post it in the chat unless you put it. No, but that wouldn't work. If I understood God, Amber says, if I understood God, it wouldn't be a power greater than myself. Exactly. Exactly. If I could describe my higher power, then it's probably not bigger than me. Right? And what are these? These are just simple ways to understand it. Right? So I didn't really have a father growing up. So for me, this was a big deal. God is my father. That's the way I do it. And he's the best father ever, man. And we get to celebrate Father's Day every day. Yeah, it's nice. Most good ideas are simple. I would agree with that. For this alcoholic, things need to be simple. Because gosh, I love to complicate things. And what does that lead to? It leads to the drama that I really enjoy. Especially when other people are going through drama, because gosh, that makes Dion feel better about himself. Man, no, thank you. I'd rather not go that route anymore. So most good ideas are simple, and this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arc through which we pass to freedom. So, steps 1, 2, and 3, you are creating an arc. Okay. And that arc, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. That arc is the door of willingness. Do you catch it? Are you catching it? Right? You had the key of willingness, and it fits the door of willingness in which you're going to walk through a free man. Steps 1, 2 are the rocks on the side of that arc. The keystone, step 3, is what holds it all in place. Now that you have this arc, the door appears and you can use your key of willingness. But you did it. Good job. I just caught that myself. Either that or I'm making it up, but that's what I caught on that one. So new to you, new to me. If you want to steal it, go for it. But it makes sense to me, at least in this moment in time. I might be wrong, but I'm not. Oh man, to grow up in the 70s around like Archie's family and data time, yeah. Oh, I'm happy to be a Gen Xer. I wish I was about 20 years younger though, knowing what I know now, enthused about what I'm doing now. So I finally and I've been putting it together. Just I know people I don't know why people are interested in what the fuck I'm doing, honestly. But what I'm going to do is I'm reaching out to other podcasts and asking to be a speaker. See, I'm very good at interviewing, but I'm even better at speaking and telling my story, or covering things with somebody else, and kind of get my name out there a little bit just to kind of boost some things. And I'm starting a power washing business. I decided to start a business that has nothing to do with recovery because I'm getting burned out. I'm getting burned out on recovery, and I don't want to do that to myself. So I decided to do something that and everybody seems to agree with it. And it's one of the best jobs for somebody with PTSD and anxiety. So there you go. Plus my perfectionist. Oh, those things are going to look fucking great. There's something about using pressure on and water to remove dirt that just feels so fucking satisfying for me. It's the same satisfaction that I get for helping another person. It's weird, but I do. So there we go. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, even if it was beyond your lunch half hour. I shouldn't cut. Did you know that okay, it used to be you worked 8 hours a day and you got an hour lunch and you got paid for your lunch. You got paid for your lunch. Yeah. 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That was the schedule. Anything over 40, you got paid double for overtime or time and a half. Yeah. Remember when I was working at Boyer's Coffee, we did, especially in the wintertime. Oh, there was a lot of overtime. A lot of overtime. I still have dreams about working at Boyer's every now and again. Dream about the good old days. I was about 2, 3 years sober when I took that job. So I got that job through the program. Bill Boyer was a big supporter of what was called the Phoenix concept, a halfway house that I was in. Bill Boyer died with like 55 years of sobriety. He was he was an asshole, but he cared about people a lot. And he gave me a job making coffee. This is when flavored coffee first came out. It just came out. And what we used to do is take these big cement mixers. So we roast the coffee, and then what I do is put a couple of pounds of the beans in a cement mixer, and then I would take a syrup, like hazelnut syrup, and pour it in there. and then I'd have to stir it and stir it. Now, remember, it just came out, so we, this was our workaround, okay? And I hated it. It's the reason that I won't drink flavored coffee today. I can't stand the smell. I'd go home because that syrup got in your pores, and you could not get it out. So, overtime is if you want to work more than 12 hours in one day. 12 hours. Is that how it goes now? See, that's exactly why I would not work for somebody. There's no way I would be. There's no way I would accept that. No. So, all right. Thank you everybody for being here. Not sure if I'll be back again later or not. As we got Wednesdays are kind of busy because I do the in-person meeting. And I want to write over there, say, hey, did we get the email out? If they didn't get the email out, I don't know that I'm going to spend any more time because it's also costing the group money to do it now. And I don't no, we have, but if people show up and it's worth the money, then cool. But if nobody's showing up, then it's not worth the money, and that money could be put somewhere else. I mean, it's just how it is, man. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And